the Gunbuster video game solved out of our biggest gaming problems. Back in 2005, Bandai released a video game adaptation of Gainax Topo Nerai Gunbuster. The action-adventure game spawned the classic OVA out into a two-core storyline, bringing back familiar voices that reprised the roles as the heroic mecha pilots. While the game had fairly standard controls and graphics for its time, it did do one thing that few, if any, games have done before or since. It is something we'll be begging for a long time. Have you ever stepped away from a video game for weeks, or months or years, only to return to it and not remember a thing? Not just the controls, but the plot itself. You rack up hours of gameplay, so clear you knew what you were doing when you last sat down to it. But your return to story is lost to the ages. Worse still, you may have to save just before a boss fight, or next to an especially difficult mob you didn't feel ready for, sometimes with power drunk regardless, still forgetting important story points. Other times, we start completely over or just give up again. Fortunately, the Gunbuster video game has a solution: recaps. As mentioned before, the Gunbuster PS2 game plays out like a full-length series, divided up into episodes that flesh out Noriko Takaya's original story. The mecha piloting prodigy will have time to train via minigames, get to know people, explore her campus on Earth and the Excellion, and take part in new storylines. That's a lot to keep track of, even if you know the original OVA like the back of your hand. Fortunately, whenever you start a new episode of the game, you get the previously on montage, complete with narrator. It is a perfect solution. If you're marathoning gameplay, it accentuates the feeling that you're watching an anime. And if you're coming back after a while, you're never far from a summary of where you've been. Sadly, you're really only going to find this game on eBay and only in Japanese. Sadly, because not only it is a fun spin on a classic, there's an ending which you can steal your Oni-sama's man. No, really, but also because it integrates a functionality we'll all be wishing for. It will never happen, but it will be nice to see AAA companies take note of these forgotten titles methods. If nothing else, it will salvage a lot of half-finished game files.